Hi, I'm Robin from CookingMexicanRecipes.com, and today I'm making breakfast burritos. Now with this recipe, you can customize it any way you want, but for today's recipe I'm going to show you how to do just a basic recipe which includes eggs and hash browns and some chorizo. I'm going to make enough for 4 breakfast burritos. So I'm going to start with 4 eggs. I've got a cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. Now you can substitute any other cheese you want, cheddar, Mexican blend, anything works. I've got some chorizo. Now this is pork chorizo, and I got this at Safeway. Also have about 3 cups of, these are hash browns. I just picked some up from the freezer section at the grocery store. I've got about a half an onion minced here, and I'm going to add some green chilies. These are chili Ortegas. And this is a 4-ounce can, so that should be about right. And I've got some olive oil, about 3 or 4 tablespoons to cook up the hash browns. And of course we have our tortillas. This is a tortilla oven, and I picked this up at a home and garden show one year. And what you do with it is you stick your tortillas in there, pop it in the microwave for about 45 seconds to a minute, and they stay nice and hot for half an hour. So I'm going to use that today. Also I've got some salsa, and I picked up some canned salsa from Trader Joe's. Okay, so we're going to start with our chorizo, and it's in a casing as you can see here, and so we have to take it out of the casing to cook it. And then I'm just going to squeeze it out. It's going to have to. Okay, so we're going to cook this for, you know, about 10 minutes or so until it's cooked down, and then we'll drain it. So the chorizo's been cooking now for about 6 or 7 minutes, and as you can see, it's cooked down quite a bit, and it's pretty greasy. So I'm going to strain it in a strainer into a dish. So I'm going to pour it into this strainer. The chorizo is being drained, and I'm going to put it back in the pan. And I'm just going to let it sit there, and we're going to work on the hash browns. I'm using a cast iron pan because I think it works really well with hash browns. You get good flavor with it, and it really helps brown up things. It's a great pan to use, and I recommend it. Pour in the oil. I got my pan on medium-high. I'm going to let that heat up for just a minute, and I'm going to add the onions. Here we go. I'll throw those in, and I'm going to saute those for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll add the hash browns. Okay, so the onions are sauteed now, and so now I'm going to add the hash browns to that. I'm going to push these onions to the side, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'm going to add the hash browns to the pan, and then I'm just going to kind of scoop the onions on top because I don't want them to burn. So I'm just kind of mixing them so they're not sitting on the bottom. Now, I'm cooking these hash browns according to their, the package instructions, which we don't want to stir them too much. We want to just let them sit. I've got them spread out as evenly as I can, and now you're supposed to cover them, and we'll cook them for about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to add some salt and pepper to these. Hash browns, require a fair amount of salt and pepper to make them taste good. We'll cover them up. Time to check the hash browns and give them a turn over. So what you're going to do is you're going to just grab a section and flip them over. You don't want to stir these too much because then they'll get kind of mushy. Now I'm going to add some more salt and pepper on this side. And the instructions say not to cover them again, so we'll just let them cook like this for another 3 to 5 minutes so the other side gets nice and brown. I'm going to take a look back at our second half of our cooking of our hash browns, and I think they're about done. You can see, turn them over. And try not to turn them too much, but you can see they're nice and brown. So I'm going to turn these off now, and then we can work on our eggs. Okay, so now I'm going to whip up the eggs. I'm mixing these up here with a fork, and I'm going to turn my heat back on my pan now. So I've got the chorizo in the frying pan. I'm going to spread it out a little bit because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the eggs and and everything else on top of that. So I need to whip up my eggs, and I'm going to pour these in. I'm going to add my green chilies, sprinkle that on top, and then the cheese. And I don't want to cook these too fast. I want my eggs to kind of cook a little slow, and I'm just going to kind of pull the eggs in, let it cook slow. So I just want to stir this around. You can add a little salt. Not too much though, because we have the cheese in there, which will add the saltiness to our dish. Okay, so I've pretty much got these eggs cooked, done how I like them. You can see here. Now all we have to do is heat up our tortillas and we can fill our burritos. All right, I've got my tortillas out of my microwave and you can see they're piping hot in here. So we're going to take one out and we're going to make a burrito. I'm going to start with, put some eggs right down the middle with the chorizo in it. And then add some of these nice hash browns right on top. Okay, so you can add anything else you want to this. If you want to add some salsa, that'd be great. Avocado, guacamole, sour cream, anything you can think of, you can put it in there. And now we're going to roll it up. So I've got my ingredients in the center. I'm going to fold this end up and roll it over. So there you have it. These are wonderful breakfast burritos. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be making more videos in the near future. And also stop by cookingmexicanrecipes.com for more recipes you can cook at home. And remember, it's got to be hot to be good.